Hi, good to see you again. I'm Graham Martin, I'm the Recruitment Guy. We're here with another 5-minute interview. We're here with my friend Pom. Now Pom's a real life vet. I know a lot of you wanted to know how to become a vet. Pom is at the Rosemary Avenue Veterinary Surgery in Enfield, where I live. And I can attest to the fact this is a really good vet because they looked after animals really well. So Pom, thank you for your time. We've caught you in lunchtime. I know it's really busy. There's not a lot of animals outside, but normally it's mayhem, isn't it? Sort of dogs woofing and cats meowing, and we don't get any sheep or cows, but if they do...
No, we encourage them to go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So you're a vet. Tell me basically, what does a vet actually do? I've got it in my head, but I've got probably the wrong idea, really.
Well, it depends what kind of vet you are. So there are various options. If you go into companion animal practice like I have, so that's small animals, dogs, cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, etc. Basically, the majority of your time is spent consulting, dealing with people. A lot of it's routine stuff, so vaccinations, talking about how to look after your puppy and kitten, at what stage, looking after your pets throughout their lifespan. Another good bonus is you get to do operations on a regular basis.
I really say you're a surgeon. They say veterinary surgery, it can be actually stitching, taking things out and so forth.
So for example, this morning I neutered a cat, and so we do basic neuterings. If dogs have lost their common sense and have eaten stones or things, we can take those out.
Labradors,
Yes, Labradors, yes, or Schnauzers in certain cases. So, there's lots of things like that. Some practices do more orthopaedic work as well, so sometimes in first opinion practice you can do orthopaedic work. Personally I don't, I refer that, so there are varying levels of what
and vets cover a wide variety, because you've got farm vets and specialist reptile vets and zoo vets that might look after exotic animals as well. So it's quite a broad church, I suppose, in terms of discipline. When did you know that you decided that you wanted to be a vet?
So I've wanted to be a vet pretty much since I could walk and talk.
Really?
Obviously when I was 3 I didn't really know what a vet was, I just liked animals, and then as I progressed by about 11, 12 I knew that I liked animals, I liked the idea of surgery, I'm not particularly squeamish, and I like cutting things up and putting them back together. So basically from about 11, 12 I started
so how did you actually get into it? Because I'm always curious about the route that, as being somebody quite young, wanting to be a vet, you probably watched some programs on TV, and there's a whole bunch of animal-related stuff. We had Rolf Harris, didn't we, probably a couple of years ago.
And James Herriot books.
Of course. And, when I was young, watching All Creatures Great and Small, great TV. So how did you actually, from being a youngster, maybe pre-teen, end up becoming a vet?
Well, I was quite lucky. I don't actually come from a veterinary background. No one in my family has or really likes animals, and I don't have any pets. But I wanted to be a vet. My parents were quite supportive. The school I went to recommended as soon as you can basically get somewhere, do some work experience. So every summer I spent working in the stables, either at the polo or just a normal yard. You can work at a cattery, so that you can do really from about 12
So really immersion as a youngster,
And if you can get into a farm, get as much farm work as you can. It's hard from a health and safety point of view, but the vet schools really like dairy, so I got some dairy work, and I got some, luckily my PE teacher was a farmer, so I got some farming.
So pigs, sheep, cows,
anything you can get in, horses, and you have to show, certainly at the stage when I went to university, you have to show a keenness on all animals, because they are talking about tiering it, so you just do companion animals or you just do horse work. But when I qualified in it all, and then I immediately went into practice
then
in
you
it all.
specialised,
And so I had to show an interest in all species.
I understand. And in terms of if somebody's at school and they're starting to think about GCSEs or A-levels, what would they be focusing on?
I do, so GCSEs, I do 3 science, 3 science, maths, obviously you've got to aim to get good grades in that. At GCSEs you really need to get good grades in all your GCSEs, and then, certainly 9, 10 good solid academic subjects, so history, geography, a language, 3 science, maths,
English history, geography.
English
so traditional studies, And then you go to university and you study, what would be the degree courses, for example?
So BVET, back to A-levels, I do 3 sciences and maths, that would be my strong push. But degree course, so you either go to do BVET Med or B Science, which basically veterinary medicine or veterinary science, but they are the same degree.
And is there a lot of competition for those
fair
courses?
Amount of competition. Currently within the United Kingdom there are only 7 universities, so 2 in Scotland and 5 in the UK. There is one more coming, I think.
Right.
And there is quite a lot of competition. You have to have a really good personal statement. It's worth, explaining, blowing your own trumpet, saying what experience you've done.
Yeah. Make
sure you've done a lot of it, which isn't easy, especially getting into a vet's practice is really hard because of health and safety. So what academic, your academic results. Also, they kind of want you at school not just to be, not just, oh, I've played with animals for 6 weeks of the year and I'm really good at work. They want you to have extracurricular activities, so you can play an instrument or you do a sport.
It's the big picture, isn't it? Yeah.
You've got to be a well-rounded.
And once you've got your degree, then you need to do another set of qualifications, or you're in practice if you can, or working at a zoo. What actually happens?
So what happens is you do your 5-year degree, 6 years at Cambridge, and then you.
We're in a real life office here, so forgive us. The phone will stop ringing a moment.
Yes, thankfully. So 5-year degree, and then you're qualified. But in your first year, obviously, a lot of it's theory what you've done. You have spent your past year, in practice under supervision at the hospital, the university hospitals, but you're pretty much on your own. So you do like a PDP, which is a personal development program, which is all online. But you kind of log what you've done each day, and practices are supposed to support you during that. Some do, some don't. Some do, yes, exactly. And then thereafter you kind of decide what line you want to go down. So if you want to become a referral, like an orthopaedic surgeon, you would maybe want to do a year or so in practice, then an internship at a referral centre, then a residency at a referral centre. Gosh, my head is full. There's so much, isn't there? There's so many options. What's the best bit about being a vet? Well, I really like the surgery. Yeah. And I do like the satisfaction that sometimes people come in really, really worried about their animal. Yes. For example, I've had slightly elderly cats coming in with this lump that's come up overnight. They really think they're going to have to put them down. Yeah. And it's just a cat bite abscess. And it's a quick fix. And I know that sounds, you don't want quick fixes all the time, but it's nice to allay someone's fears with actually, today's not Timmy's day. Yes. He can go home. And I guess by contrast, what are the worst bits of the job? Two things really. It's obviously never nice. Euthanasia is never pleasant. So sometimes if it's an older pet, the time is right. Currently in this climate we're struggling economically in the respect that people don't have the money to treat their pets, which is quite hard because it's finding that balance between giving the right treatment and meeting owners' expectations. But obviously if they don't quite qualify for charity and we did it for free, we wouldn't exist. Sure. So it's but that's probably the hardest thing and the worst. But generally, actually, most clients are very nice. So as long as you like people. Is it a vocation though? I know it's a job, it's a profession, but is it a calling? Do you feel that this is your life's work and you're drawn to it? I think if you aren't drawn to it and you just doing it for a 9 to 5, well, it's not 9 to 5, just doing it for a 9 to 5 job, you'd be better off doing something else. You have to not only like animals, you have to really like people, and you really have to want to spend a lot of time with people and patients, and your patients won't always like you, your clients won't always like you, and it's long hours you get a lot of personal satisfaction, but you won't be buying a mansion at the end. Do you work weekends? I work actually 1 in 4 Saturdays, so I have a really good
is that typical, or a lot of vets working every Saturday?
Some people do 1 in 2, some people, so when I first qualified I did actually overnight on call and weekends, so I did 2 out of 5 weekends, I did 1 to 2 nights a week on call, and I worked 5-day week, and I have to say... That killed you? I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoy my life now. Yeah, I imagine. And we slightly touched on money, not being able to buy a mansion, but broadly speaking, in the UK, 2013, newly qualified, it's the phone again, newly qualified, what would a vet earn? So, one of my friends, when she first qualified, admittedly this was 4 years ago, she was on 26,000. Right. And then now, and I think she was on a slight bonus scheme, but I think now she's on about 38,000. Realistically, she won't go up much more. Right. So is 40 really the top of the tree, really, for non-specialised vets? For non-specialised general practitioners working full-time, yes, sometimes you can get into a bonus scheme, which we don't have here. And sometimes, if you're specialised, you might earn a bit more. Yeah. If you own your own practice, you might earn a bit more. If your practice is successful, you might lose a bit if it's not. So, yes, that's probably... I wouldn't go into it if you wanted a mansion, but it's a very satisfying job. You work hard enough, you don't need to spend your money. So if I pass it on to people today, people are interested in becoming a vet, in the UK this is,
what should they look at in terms of websites or associations or societies? What would you pass on? What's the body, first of all?
So our governing body, which is the one that monitors and makes sure that we're all behaving, is the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons, so
Right.
our CVS. And then we have, it's not quite a union, but which they're trying to encourage lots of vets to join, which is the British Veterinary Association,
Yeah.
which would be good places to go and have a look. And also the individual universities, so Cambridge, Glasgow, Edinburgh, London, so obviously...
So it tends to be the top
place.
universities in the UK, and I guess you know,
Yeah.
globally as well in America. We get a lot of viewers from the States.
Yeah.
Maybe looking at the top education establishments.
It's a different system, obviously, if you're actually planning on studying in the States.
Yeah.
You do an undergrad and then you do a second degree.
So let's suppose if somebody's watching, they're 13, 14, 15, they've got some good GCSEs under the belt, they're working towards, you know, 3 sciences, maybe with maths as well at A level. I guess you're going to say, go and talk to a local vet and maybe see if you can have a chat with somebody like you.
And start at 15.
Yeah.
Because although they won't necessarily let you through your doors,
Yeah.
I mean, ideally start with other things, 11, 12,
Yeah.
but start as soon as you can. It doesn't mean if you start late you won't get in,
Yes.
but start as soon as you think you want to be a vet.
My neighbour, his son applied to get into to study to become a vet and got turned down, and so he had a year off between his A levels and going on to university, and he didn't manage to get in as a vet. He's got in as a biology course and then there's a transfer.
Yeah.
But in that year, he immersed himself. He went to work at London Zoo. He was very lucky to get accepted. He worked abroad. He worked at farms. He worked at local vets. He did all sorts of stuff just to beef up his application. So when he put it in, whilst he didn't get in as a trainee vet in terms of university, he went in for biology, but the body of work was good.
Yeah.
Look, Pom, I know we've spent a lot more time than 5 minutes, but this has been really concentrated, it's been really good, so thank you very much. So we're here with Pom from Rosemary Avenue Veterinary Clinic, or veterinary clinics in Enfield. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
So there you go, a fascinating interview. Thanks for watching, bye for now.